Yay, us. Hey, happy Friday. And I'm Betsy Phillips with Baird and Warner, and welcome to my Friday afternoon chat. And today I am really excited to have Mara Heichman with us, and she is a life coach. And wow, we all could use a fabulous life coach right now. And there is so much going on and so many concerns out there. I just want to start by introducing Mara. Mara, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Betsy. Thank you so much.
So let's start with what's on everybody's mind. I mean, parents from preschoolers to college parents, they are crazy nervous and don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, and they don't know what to do with themselves, and they don't know what to do with their anxiety. How about we start there?
Right. There's so much. There really is just so much unknown, especially when it comes to school. We didn't even know some things about camp until a couple of days before July 1st. And things are constantly changing. I think that things have always been constantly changing, but maybe this is just a little bit more of a reminder of how little control we have in our day-to-day lives. And so some of it is stepping back a little bit and seeing how much worrying you're really doing. If it's all consuming, maybe spending some time and figuring out how you can get a handle on that, because that kind of all consuming worry goes down, it trickles throughout the household, and it spreads. And we all have a lot of concerns, and school is unknown. I have a 20-year-old going to college, back to college, maybe. I don't know. I have an 18-year-old going back to school. We did just hear that, yes, it is for sure going to be remote learning, but some people still don't know. And even if it's remote learning, what does that look like for my kid? There's so much unknown. And some of it is being kind and compassionate to ourselves when we are feeling this kind of anxiety. I think that some of it is also, so important to where am I right now? So right now it's a month before school. There is so little we can do between now and a month before school. There are things we can prepare. We can get some stuff ready, but for the most part, I've got the rest of July and August, and you all do too. And what am I going to do with that as well? Where do I want to be when I am in the throes of online learning and figuring out things? Where do I want to look back and see how I spent my time and energy in July and August? Because gosh, I think it's really pretty out today. Yeah. And I mean, it is. And I have control over what I do right now, or right when I get off this phone call, a lot more than I have control over what I can do August 15th, getting my daughter back to college.
Right. So it's really trying to focus on what can I do right now, in the right now, because we worry a lot about how much energy are we taking worrying, and that we're using up time that we could be spending doing something. How do you feel about, there's so much, everybody has an opinion. And maybe if people were to, what do you think about people asking for advice and dealing with advice and not feeling bad about your choices and that kind of thing? Because I'm sure that's out there.
Of course. So we're all coming to this with our own filters. We're all wearing our own filters. My filter might look way different than someone else's filter, depending on who I'm coming home to, who I'm interacting with on a day-to-day basis, my own level of fear, my own health issues, whatever. We all have our own filter. Then we have rules, and some of the rules are still very seems loosey-goosey, because we don't necessarily have a ton of absolute guidelines, and things are changing and information is changing, and where we get that information. And so some of it is, remember when we raised kids and everyone has an opinion about how to get your kid down for a nap, or how to get your kid to sleep, or how to get your kid, guess what? The only opinion that matters right there is the people who are raising that child in that household together and figuring out what works for them. That doesn't mean that all the other information isn't good information or possibly helpful information, but it also needs to be filtered so that we can all take care of the baby. And right now, the baby is ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves and protect ourselves from all this policing and information. So I still think people are going to have opinions, and it's our job to choose how to respond to that or how to set the boundaries for that for us.
That's a great, yeah, I totally agree. And, while we're on that subject, what about personal growth? I know this is a time where we can't do a lot of things. And instead of focusing on what we can't do, I know you suggested we focus on what we can do.
Yes. So I have had so much fun watching my clients grow during quarantine, because I think that, yes, there are a lot of people who are in extremely unfortunate circumstances and really are in survival mode right now. But there are also a lot of people that are finding themselves with this space and what to do with this space. And I think so much of it is, where was I pre-corona, and where do I want to be on the other side of it? What am I learning? What do I want to take with me? What are some things I maybe want to leave behind? And creating new habits and accountability for that. And I have seen tremendous growth with clients, because I think people are really giving them the space and the time to listen to themselves for an hour and really figure themselves out and move forward with intention, as opposed to just doing that.
Right. Without, giving away any, but like examples, what can you think of? Like, are we talking weight loss? Are we talking learn French? I mean, what kind of things are we?
So I think some of it is helping people listen to themselves to find what they do want to look at, so that they're not just doing a little this and doing a little that and doing a little this without just a little more intention. So yes, definitely healthy habits, whether it's been food or working out, because people have had to change how they eat, how they cook, how they work out, how they eat. And different priorities have occurred as far as maybe making their home feel more comfortable or more organized, or some of those projects that have been lingering, either doing them or forgiving themselves and saying, I'm not going to do it, but I need to let it go.
Right.
And and also just tremendous growth in communication, figuring out what's important to them as far as play and fun, as well as work and life balance and relationships. And we're complex beings. And so trying to look at the whole picture is important.
Okay, while we're on the weight thing, do you have any, do you have any advice for the COVID-15? I know a lot of people could, people I'm around, they're like, oh my God, what happened to me during COVID?
Right.
So anything they can.
So some of it is knowing that. So first of all, where am I right now? So take where I am right now. They know how they got there. Everyone knows what actions they took from March until July that has led them to being where they are right now. But then we now have to kind of stop and forgive and say, today's a new day. Now, where do I want to go? Because it is absolutely possible. Betsy, you and I were talking before this started. The big things take little tiny steps. And we have to, not have to, but it is important in order for that to occur to look at those steps, take them, praise ourselves a little bit, make new steps, move toward those, praise ourselves a little bit, move on. And if we're not looking ahead with intention, it's very easy to just keep stuff in that hole,
Right. I like that. Take a step, praise ourselves. You even could probably do that. Take a step, praise yourself with intention. I love that. I love that sort of because your hand could be going to the cookie, but instead come to your heart and stop and think a minute. What's my intention?
I also think one of the things that I've noticed with my clients in general is the more we get in touch with our body, the more we want to take care of our body. And I think when we're eating, it is kind of like it's numbing,
Yeah.
Obviously food is very important and we all have to eat, but there can be that bottomless thing. Or exercise. It's really easy to sit down and just sit down, especially if winter's going to come soon and we're going to be inside. Who knows? So knowing that, gosh, I feel better when I turn music on and I do dishes and am moving a little bit. That's a heck of a lot better than doing the dishes and then sitting back on the couch. And
Right.
the more you get in touch with the little things that make your body feel good, you're going to want to do more of that.
That's another great tip. Maybe say to yourself, hey, body, what do you really want? Because
Yeah.
I always think like, how am I going to feel after I eat this ice cream sundae? How's my mouth going to feel? How's my
Yep.
stomach going to feel? How am I going
Yep.
to feel tomorrow morning?
Yep.
So
Your body is talking to you all the time. It's up to us to really listen and
yes,
tune in. But yeah, your body is giving your brain messages all the time and listening to that.
yes.
So yeah.
I just thought of another good. So I know a lot of the parents that have teenage kids. Have you
Uh-huh.
come across this? What do I do with them? I can't keep them home. I can't.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I, for one, I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't know what I would have done raising teenagers during this. I had a hard enough time. Yeah,
This
I
is a
feel for
really
them.
this is a really difficult time. So as I said before, I have a 20 and almost 18-year-old, and I've had not just one talk with them, but continued conversations with them about um, being good citizens of the world right now. My son works at Woodman's, and if you're going to work at Woodman's, you need to be able to come home and know that that means you take off all your clothes and you shower immediately, and that's a good citizen of the world. Or you then don't work at Woodman's and then come home and hang out with your grandparents all day, so that kind of thing. But you still need to visit your grandparents and have a relationship. Like, how do we make sure that we're all doing our best
Thinking.
and thinking? And when kids did start going out in May, everyone again is coming to it with their own filter. So some people, it really is acceptable that they be doing these 10 things, and some people, no, I just want you doing this. And so it's also not policing, but it's what's right for my family, what's right for my unit of people that it needs to matter to, and communicating and trying to get on a good page so that we all feel sane, but we also are all being safe.
And respectful of one another. I mean, now
Of
it's
the
gotten to the
community.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like people that I say, well, I'm not comfortable with that, and they go, oh, I totally get that. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Right.
Right away, I feel so much better with that person. I mean,
Right.
we and as people, we don't want to be judging,
No.
and the more of us that can just, like Mara said, accept people's filters, where they're coming from, where their situations are, and yeah. So we
Right.
have to go.
Absolutely. And again, it's not our job right now to change everyone else's filter, but it
Right.
is, we can take care of ourselves or the immediate people around us. Or if you're making plans with somebody, obviously communicating with anyone you're coming into contact with.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Anything else on your mind that you've come across that you feel is really important to share with moms, dads,
Oh,
kids,
wow.
sports?
Yeah. Well, gosh, sports, right? I mean, I think a lot of it is, I keep hearing people say the new normal. When's the new normal going to happen? And there's pre 9/11 and there's post 9/11. And yes, the first few days after 9/11 were extreme, but there's been a lot of changes that have occurred, but it happened slowly. Guess what? Post World War II didn't look the same the first day after the war till 3 years later. And here's the thing is, we're in it right now. I don't want to call it a war, but you know what I mean. We're in a life-changing event. And so I feel like our job is to be in our, as we say, the boat, but like take care of our boat while not trying to capsize anyone else's boat, and maybe even trying to support some of those people in some ways, but really trying to make sure that we're taking care of the things that we can take care of. And then the other thing is really, I do want people to enjoy their summer. I know there's so much about school. I know teachers are concerned, healthcare is good. We have a lot going on, but there are some really beautiful days right now, and some things that people are home with their families or home with people they haven't had a chance to connect with, and doing those little things matter. Those little things add up and they matter.
Right. I totally agree. And let's all take a moment to appreciate those little things. And from an old mom, spending time with your kids is a great thing, because they grow up and do their own thing like we want them to, of course. But
right.
I love that Mara says to celebrate the little things in life.
Yeah. And it's important. It's important. So
if anybody has any further questions or wants to get in touch with Mara for your own personal journey, please contact me. Just private message me or Mara on our Facebook pages, and I know Mara would love to help.
So, and wishing everyone an amazing Friday. Betsy, this was nice.
Yes, amazing Friday. Enjoy this. I mean, look at our gorgeous, gorgeous weather. We should all be thankful for this, and celebrate the small stuff. Thank you for being here, Mara. I really enjoyed having you.
Thank you, Betsy.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.